right, so Peyton Watson lands in Cleveland. Now, James Harden remains unsigned. Now, it was said that James Harden, they were going to bring James Harden back. I believe James Harden got caught with a case. I don't know what happened with the James Harden case per se. I can't remember. It was a minute ago, but they bring Peyton Watson in. So I don't know if they're going to bring back James Harden. But let's see what happened with James Harden real quick. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. So he was charged with misdemeanor with carrying an unlawful carrying a weapon because Texas law requires a vehicle firearm in plain view. So it ain't really nothing. Dismissed by the judge, so he got dismissed. So that ain't the problem. But they do have an article on why James Harden hasn't been signed, so we'll get into that. And Cleveland make a boss move in which the Pistons should have considered, but maybe the Pistons feel like their hands were strapped because maybe they feel like their hands was strapped because of the Jalen Duren situation. We can't really just use that as an excuse. So it says Watson to the Cavs, Strus to the Clippers in a multi-team deal. Cleveland gets Peyton Watson and Cam Whitmore. Ooh, Cam's still out here. The Clippers get Max Strus. Denver Nuggets get Julius Reese, unprotected first-round pick from Cleveland, 2031. Second-round pick, 2032 from Sacramento. The Wizards get Trey Mann, a second-round pick. Oh, we didn't care about that. So, for the Cavs, this is a good move. You get away of a really gritty defender, Max Strus, and a good shooter, Max Strus, and you replace him with a guy that has a tremendous amount of upside, championship caliber. Won a title over there, young, long, know that he can shoot, can defend. Another guy that can body Cade. Ultimately, this is a good move by them, and if they bring back James Harden, it's a tremendous move in my opinion. It's a tremendous move if you can bring back James Harden. So, great move by them, honestly, and it just made the Pistons road a little bit tougher. So, this was a huge move, and just more than the reason why people are saying the Pistons are falling behind in the East because they're not making any moves. Now, if it's going to alleviate all the Cavaliers' problems, no, because if Harden come back, then they still got a playoff problem, and if Harden don't come back, then people are gonna say, well, they really don't have the firepower. Which, in my opinion, I think what really boils down to is their potential is really tied into Evan Mobley being more aggressive. That's what their team is tied into is Evan Mobley. Really, realizing who he is and playing with that motor, and they'd be good. So there's definitely a problem for the Pistons making the East in the Central Division just a smidgen more tougher. I thought a team like Indiana would kind of make this move, to be honest. I honestly really did. I thought Indiana would be a team that pretty much makes a move of this caliber, in my opinion. Just from the simple fact, with Halliburton not being able to get Trey Murphy, I thought this was a good one. But I mean, Cleveland, this is, I think they upgraded from Strus. As far as ceiling wise, this guy got a much higher ceiling than Strus. So, but we'll see, man. This is a move I felt like the Pistons should have made. Not sure what the sign and trade is going to be, or So, I mean, but yeah, no, I get it. You can't make impulsive decisions today that you won't make tomorrow. So, yeah, they're probably gonna be looking for him to do what Isaac Okoro didn't do over there. And he Peyton Watson is on the up and up. So, I mean, another good wing defender for them, for undersized backcourt who can't defend. And Mitchell and Harden, that's always gonna be a problem. Their inability to defend, at a high level. I know that's something that for the most part, most likely won't change. So, but yeah, they gotta, that's kind of their Achilles heel over there is that they backcourt won't defend. He give him another defender. I mean, you basically swap him for Strus out. You look for Peyton Watson to be a little bit more consistent than Strus probably shooting the ball. But the issue is this: is Peyton Watson really going to unlock his offense over there? And that, when you kind of look at it, is he really going to unlock his offense with Harden and Mitchell? You know what I'm saying? I know he wants to show that he can give a bigger role. Is it beneficial for him to man the bench for them? Is it been, do they find a way to put him in the starting lineup? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But if we keeping it a thigh while, I think coming to the Pistons, he would have had a larger role. He would have had a much larger role as far as scoring. He would have had a much larger role as a possible all-star. Now, if James Harden don't come back, which is, if he doesn't come back, I mean, then he has that opportunity in Cleveland. So NBA analyst Ahmad Hassan has shed light on the situation with the Cavs. According to Ahmad, the reason for delay in Harden's extension is that Cleveland aims to prioritize expanding the roster before making the contract. He's not signed to a team, but he's okay. He's on the Cavs, Hassan said about Harden on the Dan Levitar show. What the Cavs are doing, they know, and James knows he's coming back. But if they sign him to a new deal, it takes away a lot of flexibility. So what they're doing is trying to do some other deals. So basically, they doing they trying to, then they can go into the over the cap once they sign this deal. There's Peyton Watson. That's added. Another one is Kaminga. I think they got Peyton Watson. So now you should see James Harden, sign with Cleveland, and Cleveland just got that much better. So that's another team people are going to be putting ahead of Detroit. So at some point, Detroit, is probably going to have to make a move, and it's probably most likely going to come at the trade deadline. But ultimately, bro, they gotta get Jalen Duren done, probably get that Amen Thompson contract done, and then we'll see what the business is after that. So just wanted to shed light on this. Cleveland got better, but I think Peyton Watson scoring ability, really, it's not really going to take off there. I think for Cleveland, they need to worry about getting Evan Mobley more engaged offensively, and that don't happen. I just think they should just trade Evan Mobley, to be honest. But that's another conversation for another day. Appreciate the love and support. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Hit the link in the description. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Peace.